Hey, man, let's talk a little bit about the booze. Because, during my time, and I want to talk about whatever you're comfortable talking about. And anytime, you don't want to say anything, just let me know.
I like it when you just call in the ring, Steve.
We're calling the ring, man. I mean, okay, so going up and down the road, guys do what they do. What drove you to the booze and the pills? Was it the loneliness? Was it because everybody else was doing it? What was it? Were you lonely?
No, well, I mean, later, yeah. Early on, I remember I was one of those guys who never really started drinking heavy or till late 30s. And I was no angel before that. I just wasn't drinking and taking pills.
Right.
But it was suggested to me in that era, we're talking early 80s, that a lot of the business was done in bars and stuff at that time.
Yes.
You had to kind of get to know your opponent to have somewhat of a relationship with them outside the ring so that you could produce a good product in the ring. And immature as it may sound, a lot of that was true. It was going on. At least the guys that I was hanging out with and the guys that I looked up to, a lot of that was going on. So I ventured down that path as well.
I've been away from the business now for a little over 10, 11 years. I really slowed down on a lot of things I was doing. I've kind of admitted I was living pretty fast, and I would never classify myself as a drug addict or an alcoholic. That being said, I was the guy, there's always kind of different cliques or whatever in the dressing room, whether it's drinkers, the pill guys, this guy, that guy. I was in the drinking crowd. What was your drink of choice? Was it beer? Was it whiskey, vodka?
I was, early on, I was more of a Coors Light out of a bottle guy with some Xannies. Xanax are my drug of choice. I enjoy Xannies. I never was a pill guy. A pain pill guy. I never really enjoyed them. I used to, take them to trade them with other guys for pain pills. I like the beer, occasional shot of Jack Daniels. More than one, but if I'm going to drink whiskey, it's Jack Daniels. And when I met Hogan, when we moved to WCW, I became a Miller Lite in a can guy, because I'll never forget Ulster. It is contract, bro. He had a rider where they had a garbage can full of Miller Lite in his locker room on ice, big trash can, and cases in there. And so one time we were in there talking to him, he goes, "Brother, you've got a pretty big mitt." So he takes the can as he's demonstrating. He goes, "You know what? We shouldn't be doing it, but let's face it, we ride up and down the road with beer." He goes, "You got a big mitt, brother. You can cover the can. At least you got a chance. They don't sell soda in bottles anymore." He was pointing out that should a law enforcement officer cruise by and see us all tipping things back in the car as we make towns, might be a better idea if it was a can. So I got to admit, that influenced me, and I switched to cans, Miller Lite cans since then.
Well, the cans are always easier to dispose of once you get a shit pile of them. Let's talk about it. But you were